Hello, my name is John Schroeder. I reside in Mid-Pines, which is a community in Mariposa County, California. I work for the Mariposa County Resource Conservation District. This presentation describes the various ways to dispose of slash, which is the waste material left over from land clearing operations such as tree pruning, brush cutting, and weed trimming. Slash disposal is necessary to assure that your property is free of flammable materials on the ground. Slash, if present, could carry wildfire to the rest of your property or to your neighbor's property. The brush pile in the image on the left is a good example of one that needs disposal. So keep your property clean.
Any land management operation you undertake will likely produce waste material. We call it slash. Once you create slash by limbing a tree, cutting brush, or raking weeds, you need to dispose of it in order to keep your property fire safe. The methods you may use will depend on the type of slash, the amount, and the cost. Besides loading the slash in a trailer and hauling it away, here are 3 basic methods: chipping, pile burning, and mastication. Chippers can be rented and towed to your worksite. If you use a contractor, he or she can supply the chipper. The pros associated with chipping are that no burning is involved. Tree branches overhanging the fire are not a problem. Chipping is not dependent on permissive burn days or weather. Air quality is unaffected. And chippers can take material 6 inches or more in diameter, depending on the chipper. The cons are as follows. Chipping can be expensive. The brush must be taken to the chipper, or the chipper taken to the brush. Chipping requires labor, moving and feeding the material. Chipping leaves a chip pile to be disposed of, though some might think of this as a pro if they want the chips for mulch. Here are the pros associated with burning. It may be less expensive. This depends on the site and the contractor. Slash can be piled near to where it was cut, requiring less labor. Again, this depends on the site. Little or no debris is left. The landowner can do it themselves and save some money. The cons associated with burning are as follows. Burning requires permits from CAL FIRE and APCD and permissive burn days. You need to secure the permits at the beginning of burning season. There is risk of escape if the fire is not properly sited, constructed, and closely attended. We'll talk about this more in a minute. Burning has an adverse effect on air quality. Burning requires overhead clearance. Don't do this under a tree. The heat will kill or maim tree foliage. Before burning, call the CAL FIRE burn hotline to see if it is a permissive burn day. The number is 209-966-1200. The maximum residential burn pile size is 4 feet in diameter. A 10-foot perimeter around the pile must be clear down to mineral soil. If the pile is on a slope, more clearance is needed on the uphill side because heat rises. You need open sky above to avoid injuring a nearby tree. An attendant must be present with a shovel until the fire is out. There must be a water supply at the burning site, such as a connected hose or a pump tank. Don't burn when windy. Early mornings tend to work best. Stage excess brush in a larger pile outside the cleared area for later addition to the 4-foot fire. You can overcome the 4-foot limitation. It's easy. Burn more than one pile at a time. Note that the clearance rules still apply to each pile. Note the use of a skid steer with a grapple to feed the 4-foot piles from a larger staged pile. Contractors may have equipment that serves the need to feed multiple piles. You can buy waxed paper in 4x200-foot rolls online at forestry supply outlets. Alternatively, buy a roll of lightweight plastic at your local hardware store, remembering to remove it before burning, of course. Cover your piles in summer, not the whole pile, but the center of it. Weight it down with brush so that it won't blow away. In winter, after a rain or snowstorm lets up, stick a lit portable propane weed torch into the center of the pile, which will be dry. The heat from the burning center will move outward, drying the pile as it goes. A mastication device must be transported onto your property by a mastication contractor. This one has large teeth on a horizontal drum up front. It acts like a giant lawnmower. These come in several different sizes and configurations. This is a small one. The pros of mastication are: it requires no landowner labor, it shreds slash into mulch, and air quality is unaffected. The cons are as follows. It is expensive, $800 to $1,600 an acre, $250 per hour and up. The material is shredded, but not eliminated. Shredded material can still kill trees in a fire if not ground finely and raked away from the tree, and it's unsightly if not shredded finely. This is a stand of ponderosa on a local property. The understory was too thick to walk through prior to treatment. Mastication does the same thing to slash piles too. Weed eaters, also called weed trimmers, can accommodate several kinds of heads. The most common kind has a string head, a spool containing heavy plastic line. This is good for annual weeds. Different heads accommodate string of varying diameter, so you need to choose one that fits your needs. Another kind of head looks like a small saw blade and is useful for cutting heavier plants with stems less than 1/4 inch in diameter. Looks like the guy in the picture has one of these. Here's what the finished product looks like. Notice that surface fuels like grass are low. Fuels that are off the ground have been raised up higher. Ladder fuels next to trees have been removed to limit a fire moving into the tree canopies. Slash has been dealt with, either burned or hauled away, and the area is more pleasing to the eye. And with that, we will end this presentation. Thanks for watching.